Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Homeschool. Today I'm actually going to be taking you on an in-depth tour through my original Scrapbox, DreamBox. So if you've been dying to see how I've set this thing up, how I'm using it to organize all of my creative and artistic side, as well as all of my kids' homeschooling stuff and school supplies, which are seriously out of control, then you're going to enjoy this video. I feel like it's just for all of the type A organized or wannabe organized people out there. So, by the way, I'm not organized. In case you were wondering where to place me, I'm the wannabe organized. This is the only part of my life that is organized, but we're gonna look inside of that today. So let's open it up and see how it works. Okay, so first of all, it's basically a big cupboard, okay? It's beautiful, it looks nice on my wall. So even when it's closed, this is a feature part of my room. Let's open it up. You have massive doors to this because there's storage and more storage right built into the doors. The doors are on wheels, which means it's very easy to open. You don't need to have muscles like Popeye, okay? Now to put it together, you need some muscles. But to actually operate it, you're fine. So I have the hood as well as the light, which are additional charges. But I decided to get those because I wanted them. I just wanted that light right down on my table, which is what this is right here, a table. Two different height options. One is more of a bar height where you could bring up a stool, and one is more of a table height where you'd want to bring up something like an office chair. So I'm going to show you those two height options next. All right, so option one, this is the lower height. Now, when you have it lowered, there's this little section right here that is extended, which means you have full access to everything in here. So it gives you actually a little bit more working space, and it's a really nice option. Now they're coming up with all sorts of additional things that you can add to the sides of these to give you even more table space, but I like it at this level because of the amount of space that it gives me. Let's look at the second height option and how easy it is to change it. Now, when I pull down this, you'll notice how this is our extra little leaf. It's going to stay in the upright position so that just this top part comes down. Now my inside stuff is actually down a little bit. I have a little bit less table space, but it's more of a bar height, which is great if you like to stand and do your stuff. So now that you understand how the table works, I want to show you how I actually have it set up. I'm going to show you inside, and we're going to take a look piece by piece at my Scrapbox. All right, so first of all, the organization system. Basically what I decided to do was make the left side mine, make the middle mine, and then give the kids the right side over here, or however you're looking at your screen. But basically, that's for them, everything else is for me. And when I say that's for them, I just want to be clear that they don't actually get to ever touch this, like ever. Don't touch my Scrapbox. They know this. It is the cardinal rule of our home. I mean, they mess up every part of this house, but don't you dare mess up my Scrapbox, because this is the only thing I have. It's my tether to, I don't know, maybe I could be organized one day in my life. I mean, I need this thing. So they get a little section that I help them with when I feel like it. But for the most part, really, the whole thing is mine. Let's just be real. The whole thing is mine. Okay, let's move to the left. So I have all these little cartons up here, and they all come with the Scrapbox. These are just little containers. You can open them up. They're high quality, and you can fill them with whatever you want. And one of the things I love about the Scrapbox is that you have unlimited ways that you can use this, and you can store and organize things that are very small that otherwise get lost or destroyed. So you have options in these little bins here. So I basically have knickknacks. There's a little bit of crafty stuff for the kids, some office supply stuff. I have some clothespins here. I have some rings for index cards. I have more kind of clips for the tops of my journal or page. I have some more kind of binder clips in here. And then there's these rods that come with it. Now you can use these rods for anything. I decided to use them for washi tape, which is a more common thing. I've seen people too, if sewers have used it for threads, or I have some ribbon. You could have done a ribbon on it. So there's lots of options, but I used it for washi tape. So I've got washi tape here that I can just organize and roll out. And then I have all of my pens. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a bullet journaler slash creative journaler slash artist slash whatever you want to call it. So I love making my own planners, my own pages. I actually wrote a book about it. So I have a lot of stuff. So here is all of my pens, and I have a lot of different permanent fine line black pens that I use. I have brush lettering pens and fountain pens. I have pretty much everything is in here, as well as my extra fillers and cartridges for my pens are here. Now in this section here, they actually have these screw-in hooks, which is genius. I still haven't figured out exactly what I want to hang on them yet. I have one pair of scissors. I used to have 4, guys. Where are the rest? We don't know. The kids obviously disobeyed the cardinal rule on this one, so I'm already missing a pair of scissors, but that is where I store my scissors and or other things that I'm going to yet discover in my lifetime. Underneath that, I even have an empty shelf. I mean, there are spaces in here I haven't even filled yet, and I emptied about 4 massive bins of art supplies into this, so there's a lot of supplies here. There's a ton of space to use. Underneath that, I have my ink. I have different things for projects. And then I do have a little bit of kid stuff down here, which is some bake clay. So here, this section here is mostly my papers and supplies to make journals, because I make my own inserts, as well as extra journals, finished journals, empty journals, journals I'm working on or designing. So this is kind of all paper journal stuff. So I have tons and tons of different notebooks in here. And that's basically just what I use that section for. All my books and empty books and refill books are all there. Then I have painting supplies. So I have all of my watercolor stuff here. I have my oil paints and my acrylic paints here. I have all of my stamps, and I just have to say that I am the least, again, organized person. If I took you on a tour of my house, everyone would be like, oh. So this is the only part of my life that probably is organized, and it could be more organized. I've seen people do these, like they put wallpaper in it. They do amazing things with it. I've seen them like put their stamps upright and alphabetize them. I mean, I'm just happy they're in a container. So I'm like, win right here. So I don't need to alphabetize them. Maybe I will one day when my kids are gone and I'm bored. But until then, I'm not bored. So they're in a container. I smile and drink coffee and I'm happy. So beside that, I have all of my stamp pads. I have punches. I've got stickers and different things. I've got pencil crayons. I've got different strings and stuff that I use either for binding or dropping on my head. And then there's all these little compartments here. And I love these, you guys, because they actually come with dividers. You can divide each of these up into different sections, which is insane to me. So what I have in here, I've got stamps. I have different things like charms for my traveler's notebooks, things to brad nail and stuff like that here. I've got different adhesives here, different double-sided tape rolls and little corner stickers, just all sorts of really little knickknacks that I can store. Here's my staples and my staple removers. Where did the staple removers go? Now I know, okay? Glue sticks. I can see my kids have also gotten into this. This was brimming to the very top, no longer brimming. So they've gotten into this, but I've got a lot of glue sticks there for them to use. This is my book binding stuff because I make my own journals and inserts and planners and student planners for kids and homeschool planners and whatever else. So I actually hand stitched the binding. So this is all of my different supplies for binding my books. And then this is all my different threads for binding my books because I use these waxed threads so that they stay better. So I've got all of my threads. Underneath that, I have all of my little, notebooks, these are like little envelopes to go inside, little tags, just little knickknacks that I can use inside my journaling pages. And we've got more. We've got little tiny tip-ins and things that I can use inside my journals just to give them a bit of pizzazz. I've got extra scrap paper that I could use to cut and insert, and this is actually just supplies, extra screws and stuff from putting this together that I decided I would keep with it. So now we're into the middle section, which you can see there's a lot of blank spaces. This is more of my business section. So this is my creative section, this is my business section, and I'm working on right now, I'm designing curriculum, I'm making, like I said, planners and inserts, I'm selling all this stuff, so I need a place that I can create it, that I can package it, and I can ship it. So down here I have my laminator for my covers, I have my weigh scale so that I can like weigh all of my packages, and actually I create my shipping labels here and everything. This is all my shipping tape, my extra batteries for my camera and stuff like that. My watercolor paints is kind of, there's a few creative things in here. But these are all going to be for things like, these are the covers of my journals. These are the pages I use to design. They're hard, thick cardstock, and I actually design on those. I have my laminating pouches, my covers for my books, and my backs for my books will be here. And then I'm switching out my coil binder, which I currently use for a my comb binder, which I currently use for a coil binder. So I'm gonna switch these out. I'm gonna get some nice coils, and I'm gonna start coil binding down here as well. So I'll have more room for my machines under here. I've got some felt for the kids. I have my Instax camera and extra stuff there. And these are all Traveler's notebooks. You know the sad part is they're all so beautiful. I should be using them, and yet who can use this many planners? Nobody. I've never understood how people can actually functionally use the amount of planners that we buy. We buy them because we love them, but then the actual using it part, it's like, but I have it. It's so pretty, and it's right here. Don't tell my husband. Okay, so now we're on to kind of the fun side. This is the kids side of it. So remember, kind of down here, I've got my punching machines and my cutting machines and all of that. So this is my functional business aspect right here. But on the side, this is for the kids. There's a few small exceptions, which we're going to find. Okay, so right here at the top, we're just going to start with the good stuff. Oh, no. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one's full because they knew that I would find them if they took these. This is no longer full. I filled it for this video, y'all, and it's no longer full. This is my children. Now, I have 5 of them, and they obviously broke the cardinal rule. So it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay, so this is kind of my section, both for my creative juices to flow by eating sugar and candy, but also for me to go hide away in my Scrapbox. Leave me alone with my chocolate. Mommy's going to her Scrapbox now. Don't interrupt me. Mommy's actually stuffing her face with chocolate. Next on our tour is my pencil container. It may not be beautiful, you guys, but it's really an amazing thing how pencils can sit there. I have bought so many packages of pencil. You would never believe me if I told you how many packages of pencils I have, and they're gone. They're all gone. They are all gone. Everyone's looking for a pencil. No one can find their pencil. No more problems with that. I buy them in bulk now. I'm like, get a pencil. Problem solved. Okay, so under that, I really loved this. This was fun. I don't do beading, generally, ever before, actually, because beading means mess. Mess means mess on top of the chaos and mess that is already my life, and I don't do that. I don't do that stuff. But you know what? I got this Scrapbox, and I was like, what am I going to put in all these amazing compartments? So I thought I'll separate compartments, and I will put all the beads in different areas, and my kids can make necklaces supervised by mommy. So they actually love doing this. They've done it one time in the past 6 months. Yep. Because that's the amount of time I have had to supervise them. Every time they ask, I'm like, no. No. So, but I love the idea of it. And again, it makes me happy knowing that if I need something to do for my girls, I have something. Okay, continuing down, tape. Now, this is another thing that a few mere months ago was full of refills for, and we're down to 2. So I feel like I need an inventory sheet in here, and then I need a penalty box for all of the times my kids have gone in here without asking me. But anyways, tape is a must. We actually go through a ton of it, not because we actually use it for anything constructive or educational, but because my kids use it for everything else. They're taping blankets to the wall. No joke, that happened this week. Okay. Moving on, we got some extra pens. I like the red ones. I really like marking up my kids' stuff. I like going through it and being like, let's mark it in red. shall we? Just draw some extra attention to the laziness that happened today. Okay, so I've got chalk. And this is one that you'll notice hasn't been pilfered through. And the reason that it hasn't been pilfered through is because I hate chalk. I hate it. All my kids have chalkboards above their desks, but the feel of it and the sound of it is like makes me a little weak in the knees, okay? So I hate it. I don't like the mess. I don't like the dust. I don't like really any aspect about it, but it looks pretty and my kids enjoy it once in a while. So here it is in case we ever feel like being chalky. Under that, I have sticky notes. Actually, we don't even use these, but when I was shopping for stuff to fill it with, this just felt right, so I did it. Under that, we have an empty compartment. You guys, these happen. It's amazing. There's even some space. I took out one of the shelves so that I could put some notebooks here. Now, this section right here, you'll see what it is just by looking at the outside. It is color coordinated rainbow looking construction paper. So my kids can come through, they want to do a drawing, a painting, an art project, they can just pick through the colors they want. And this actually has saved me a lot of paper because I feel like my kids waste a lot of paper, even ruining them, taking them out of the packages. So I love this. I think that there is something that I've noticed in this whole process is that when we have art supplies, creative stuff that's difficult to find, difficult to see all over the place in little containers, packed away in packages, then it's difficult for us to be really creative. There's something about, remember that show we used to watch when we were kids, like Mr. Maker or whatever, and he had all of those art supplies and it was so appealing because you thought, man, if I had that stuff, I could make anything. So when you lay it all out like this and when you get to see this amazing stuff and you get to come and look through it, you are inspired. And anything you so desire to do is right in front of you and it sparks your interest. It's the same thing for my kids. When they come here, it is just this open, colorful, what do you want to make today? We could use the googly eyes. We could use, so they can go through, they can pick and choose kind of like this store Mr. Maker thing, and they get to create this custom thing that they're prompted and they're creative when they go through this. So I've got extra markers here. And these are actually just special pencils and stuff. I was kind of thinking of putting together a little sticker store, but let's face it, I feel like my kids don't need super lot of rewards based on what I'm seeing going through my Scrapbox right now. These are stickers that just fell out of the handle. Just push those away. This is how I sweep my floor. No, I'm joking. You're super judging me right now. I have done this before. When I've had company over, there's been times that I'm just like, okay, it's happened. I'm not gonna lie, but not today. Today I'm gonna clean those up when I'm done, or I'm gonna get my kids to. Anyways, these are alphabet stickers. My kids, I thought when I looked at them, are going to learn how to read by playing with alphabet stickers. Hasn't happened yet, but there's always hope. I have some wonderful, amazing pipe cleaners. Also hate those, but painting stuff for the kids because don't touch moms. That's just not happening. This one makes me so happy because it is all index cards. So many index cards. You can use index cards for so many things. So I love it. I've got some embroidery floss. I've got some feathers. And then we have kind of the knick-knack section over here. So we've got googly eyes and stickers and magnets and gems and whatever, just different things for the kids to use. This section's mine again. There just wasn't enough space. There's ribbon for them to use. I've got a lot of glue, and then I have some mistakes at the bottom. So let's pull those out. I feel like there's a aspect of this that you would go through some people's Scrapbox tour and you'd be like, what to buy when you get a Scrapbox. I feel like mine, let's just go opposite here. What not to buy when you're filling a Scrapbox. Don't do that. Glitter is a hot mess of a mistake. That was such a mistake. I don't know what ever inspired me. I've never been okay with glitter before. Before, I'm like, no, we're not getting glitter. It's not happening because I've seen the effects of it. Okay, my kids, my oldest is 12. I know how this goes. And yet I bought it. In fact, I bought 3 of them and glitter glue. Why did I do that? I don't know, because I was just so inspired by the idea of the Scrapbox. My kids have gotten into the glitter and there has been some glitter incidents and I'm done with the glitter. The other big colossal mistake I made was buying these water beads. put them in the water and they expand. Oh yeah, they haven't used very much of that, but a little bit goes a long way. And so there's been a lot of little beads of slimy, water-filled, like the inside of a diaper, all over my house. So I've learned through this process that there are some things we just shouldn't do. I've also learned that there's a lot of things that are worth doing, like paper and school supplies, but some of these things that I wouldn't buy normally, I don't know what compelled me to buy them, but I probably should have said no to that inner voice. At the bottom of this, I just have some paint for the kids. I don't actually have it all here. I have some more in my upstairs room, but that is basically it. That is the tour of my Scrapbox from left to right, from creative to business to school for my kids, and shows you how many different things you can organize and fit in here, and my own process as a very organized person, and how I feel coming and looking at this. It's like I can wake up easier in the morning because I know that at least one thing in my life is organized, and I have peace about that. I'm like, okay, well, you know, the kitchen's a mess and the living room's got stuff everywhere, but my Scrapbox. In fact, sometimes I come down here and just have coffee, and I have a little couch over there, and I sit and I stare at my Scrapbox. I leave it open all the time because why would I close this? This is the feature of my house. I mean, sure, it's pretty closed. It's prettier opened. So I leave it open all the time, and I love looking at it. I feel so inspired when I do. I feel like I've accomplished something in my life, and I really think it was worthwhile. So if you are looking for one of these amazing, beautiful systems, obviously it is a small fortune. Let's just be totally honest here and talk about the elephant in the room. This ain't cheap. And there's a reason for that. You're getting all of these bins and organizing different things. Everything is included to create this system. What you do need to know is there's a coupon code in the description of this video below, but also, you guys, they do have payment plans available. If nothing else, I hope you were entertained by my Scrapbox tour. This is the DreamBox, and it's a dream. And stay tuned because, I don't know, I hear there's like more things they're coming out with, and you may see something else show up on this YouTube channel. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit the subscribe. If you've got a question about it, post it in the comments below, and otherwise, we'll talk to you again